This segment is brought to you by Trap Chevrolet. We're always on your side. All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls. Very glad to have with us Captain Brennan Mathern of the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Department. Thank you so much, Captain. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us, Martin.
Yeah, and it is that time when Halloween is fast approaching. It's on a Friday night. It's at the same time as a lot of football games are taking place. So, logistical nightmare or what?
No, we have it covered. We have well over 100 deputies that'll be assigned throughout the parish, as we do every year for our annual Blue Light Special Patrol. And we do this every year. And Martin, it's kind of evolved over the years into different things. And we see a lot of different activities going on Halloween. As you mentioned, it's a Friday night. So we're expecting, the parties and different things to be maybe a little bit more than what it is in a typical year if it's on, say, a Sunday night or a weekday night. But we expect it to be a lot of the same, and that just means that there'll be a lot of kids out trick-or-treating. So from our perspective, we're going to continue to make sure all of those kids are safe. And really our goal in being out there is to remind everyone with our blue lights and red lights flashing above that that there are kids out there, that they need to go down these neighborhoods at a much slower pace than they normally would, and just be, have a ever-present eye out for children.
Now, I know that you and the sheriff have put out some tips. I was reading through them. They're pretty good tips. Would you like to go over some of those?
Yeah, and look, we've adjusted those over the years, just like hurricane preparedness tips and everything else. As time evolves, we have different things. The main one for today's parents is, to avoid distractions. Cell phones are a huge distraction on a regular basis. And look, a lot of times you're gonna be supervising at least your kids for trick or treating, but in many cases you'll be supervising a group of kids. The worst thing you can do is have that cell phone out and you're texting and, something happens to one of those kids. So what we like to tell parents for Halloween is, look, just try to keep that phone in your pocket. If you have Bluetooth, if you have maybe a watch, a smart watch or something that you could quickly glance down and look in case you get a phone call or a text message, that's probably the best situation. But look, just avoid being on the phone that night. Try to keep your eyes on the children at all times. Again, just to make sure that they're safe.
Let me ask you this, Captain, because, we see it in all neighborhoods, really. People are using golf courts and four-wheelers and things of that nature. So I don't want to say that anybody's just purposely breaking the law, but y'all are kind of lenient when it's Halloween. They're pulling trailers with hay and all that. But what's the guidelines? Naturally, they can't drink and use those vehicles, right?
Absolutely not. And that's really what we're looking for, Martin. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like you said, this is not legal in a sense of the word, whether it be parish, state statutes, whatever. In almost any circumstance, you're breaking one of those. With that said, we understand tradition and things of that nature. And as a sheriff's office, we're trying to be understanding about that. So as we tell everybody every year, what we're looking for is careless operation. What we're looking for is people, and that's what we're targeting. We're targeting those individuals that are not properly operating it, whether it be children that are too young, that are, just driving too recklessly or fast in the street, whatever it may be. That's the ones, we don't want to have to shut anyone down. It's Halloween, just like Mardi Gras. It's a great time of year. People are having a lot of fun, but we also understand that alcohol could be involved. So when it comes to operating these types of vehicles, we can't allow that. We cannot allow people that are having things to drink and that are operating these vehicles while intoxicated. That's where we're going to put a stop to it. But again, if you're doing so responsibly, if you're driving in an unreckless manner, and especially, like you said, if you have a hayride or something like that, look, we're going to use discretion and be understanding. Just understand that those things are not legal. And so if we see them being operated in a manner that's in any way careless or below standards, we're going to take action.
And just to reiterate, if somebody is drinking and they're maneuvering these vehicles and these trailers and something happens, they could be in a lot of big trouble.
Oh, no question. Again, in most of these cases, you're not only starting from, like I said, you're starting from the standpoint of you're already operating these vehicles illegally. So now you throw onto there that you're operating them under the influence of drugs or alcohol and operating them carelessly. You're just compounding interest, so to speak, when it comes to those crimes. So again, we don't see that. Thankfully, Martin, we don't see that. Most of the time when we're out there on Halloween, we do see the hay rides, we do see the golf carts, the side-by-sides, and thankfully parents are, common sense is prevailing, I'll say, and they are operating them in a manner that's responsible. And so obviously we don't have to do that. But from a parent standpoint, and again, going back to those safety tips, the other big one that we've looked at in recent years is making sure your child's costume is distinguishable. Most people will just go to a local store, grab a costume, and it's the same as hundreds of other kids out there. And if you have a mask on and a costume, how can you tell your kid from another kid? So what we encourage parents to do is put something distinguishable, add something to the costume, such as a bracelet, a glow stick, reflective tape, lights, literally anything that'll help distinguish your kid from the hundreds of others that are going to be wearing the same costume.
All right, Captain, happy Halloween, and y'all stay safe.
Thank you, Martin.
All right, we'll be right back. Don't go away. This segment was brought to you by Trapp Chevrolet. We're always on your side.